You are tuned into the Shattered Podcast, Cellbound Edition, with your host, D. Elias.
Welcome to the Shattered Podcast. I am at the Sevier County Jail, and we've started a new series called Cellbound. And today, giving her testimony is Destiny Ward. Thank you very much, Destiny. I know you're nervous, but you're going to do just fine. Take us back to your teenage years.
Okay, when I was 13, I moved with my grandpa and Derek's. My mom, she was on drugs, so she didn't have my brothers and sisters at that point either. And she was in my life, but she wasn't, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And my grandpa at the time, he didn't do drugs. He had before, but he had a massive heart attack, or not a massive heart attack, but a heart attack. So he stopped using, and he was clean for a while. I started going to my mom's on the weekend when I was 13 and staying with her, my grandma and stuff, and they weren't bad. They didn't. My mom wasn't a bad parent. She did the best that she could, and but you know, hanging out with her and stuff, even at a young age, I was introduced to drugs, and even though my mom was really against it, she didn't want any harm. She didn't want me to be in harm's way, and I started using meth for the first time when I was 13.
Did you use meth with your mom?
I did some, yeah. At first, not really, but over the years, yeah, I have. When I was 13, that first year or so, I didn't use a whole lot, but I did smoke on the weekends when I was over there, and then my mom, my grandma, and my aunt all went to prison, and they was in prison for almost a year or so. So at that time, I didn't use, because my grandpa, he didn't use, and he did not know. And if he would have known, Lord, it would have been really bad. But
Right.
when I got out of prison, my mom did good for a little bit, but then she, started using again, and just hanging out with her and people around. Not that she didn't want me to use, and it broke her heart. Like I couldn't imagine what she went through. You know what I'm saying? But I did use, and
She just wanted a better life than what she
yeah, she
had.
did. She didn't want me to go down the same road that she
Right.
went down, and here I am down the same road that she went down. I only smoked for a while. I did good in school up until my senior year. My senior year, I totally quit trying. I had a boyfriend. I wasn't living at home. My grandpa knew that I was on drugs. Everything had went downhill, and I dropped out of school. And when I dropped out of school, I went to live with a guy. He was a lot older than me, and even though he was a user, he really cared about me. He cared about things that I did, and he didn't let me. If I wasn't with him at the time, there's no telling where I would have ended up.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no telling. And I lived with him for about 2 years until I was 19. And at that time, when I was living with him, I started shooting up. Right before I turned 18. And ever since that first time, that's the only way I did it, and it's the only way I've done it since then. And
Did he shoot up too?
yeah, he
Is
did.
that what? And that's kind of how you
Yeah,
got started.
and my family, the ones that use, they do too, and it just curiosity kills the cat,
Right.
especially with
Yeah.
me. And so yeah, once I started, it is a total different addiction for me in itself. It's totally different than just meth. It's not. It's a whole new addiction for me. And I was using from 18 to 19. I was using every day, several times a day. We was living with no electricity, no water, just the lowest I could probably get was then at that time.
Right.
And me and my boyfriend, we got into a fight, so I moved back to Derek's, my grandparents. My grandma and my grandpa got back together at this time. And my grandpa still wasn't using. My grandma was a little bit, but not all that much because my grandpa wasn't using. And that's where I met my kid's dad. I wasn't home probably a week, and me and him got together, and automatically I got clean because he don't do drugs, he doesn't nothing. So I got pregnant really quick, and me and him, I stayed clean throughout the whole pregnancy. I did real good. I was with him. Me and him was not good together after I had my daughter. She was probably 3-4 months old. My grandpa died in February of 2016. I had her December 2015. My grandpa died in 2016, that February. March, I overdosed. And that me and my...
Accidentally or
no,
you?
on purpose. It was on
you
purpose.
was on purpose.
Yeah, it was on purpose. Me and my grandpa was really close. He was the only, dad I had, really. And he was my best friend. And he's the first loss I've ever had in family that I could really... I don't know. I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to handle it, especially being clean, because I've used drugs for so long to not deal with things. And when he died, I don't know, I just lost it really for a little bit. And so I overdosed on purpose. And once I overdosed, my kid's dad, he was like, no, that's it. We split up and we didn't get back together. After that, I started using again pretty heavily. I didn't ever stay at home. My daughter was with my mom or with my grandma, or just not with me.
Right.
And in December 2017, no, it was 2016, December 2016, my daughter had just turned a year old. DHS got called because me and my boyfriend at the time, him and his mom got into it, and just some things happened, and DHS got called, and they took my daughter. And that February 2017, I went to rehab. Did good. I got out of rehab. I got a job. I had an apartment. I was clean up until, I don't know, probably September of 2018. And then I started hanging around the same people again. My mom, she was using again. Her and my stepdad did good for a long time. They was clean. He had a job. They had a lot.
Right.
And when they started using again, I don't know. I just felt like if she can use and get away with it and us be all fine, then why can't I? Why can't?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah. I can't handle it, and I thought I could. I can just get out of this one time and be okay.
Right.
But no, before too long, I was faking drug tests for DHS, and just it wasn't. I was not okay. In January 7th of 2019, I got pulled over and I had drugs on me. And at first, I thought it was probably the worst thing that had happened in my life. But really, if I wouldn't have got pulled over, then there's no telling.
Right.
Where me or my kid would be. You know what I mean? So I went through the program, and I really liked the program here. The program it really helped. It works. It's just, I got involved with a guy in the program. We got out. We did good. We did good for about 3 or 4 months. And then as soon as we broke up, that was my reason to go get high.
Right. So you went into the RSAT program, you'd done the 90 days in jail, and you was working on the 9-month aftercare.
Yeah. Yeah, I was about 3 or 4 months in when I first started messing up. As soon as we broke up,
you just didn't handle it.
Yeah, no, as soon as me and him broke up, I went and got high that day. And I've got high ever since then. I was supposed to go to rehab October 1st of this year, and I did some things and caught a charge in Texas, not a possession charge, but a forgery charge. And so it was just days before I was supposed to go to rehab, and I caught that charge and was in jail for 40-some days. So I didn't comply with the program or go to rehab.
Right.
So here I am back in jail. They put a warrant out for me before I left over there. And so now, they didn't even ask about why I didn't comply. But which Walcott, I think he knows that I didn't run on purpose. I did not comply on purpose because I really did want to get clean. It's just something happened, and so I got to face what I did.
So where are you no longer in the RSAT program?
No, I signed for prison. I go to prison.
And what kind of time are you looking at?
4 years. It's not a whole lot of time, but it's enough time to sit me down for a while until I can get my head right.
Right.
Because if it wouldn't have happened, I don't know. I don't even know if rehab would have helped. You know what I mean? Because
right.
a 30 to 60 day rehab, I don't know. This, I have to learn things the hard way. I'm very stubborn, and so maybe me actually going to prison will help.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I don't.
Has there, since you've been back in here, has there been programs and services that you are involved in right now that's helping you?
Yes, CR and NA and this new motherhood class that they have, they're all really, really good. The motherhood class is 2 hours long, and it's not necessarily about motherhood. It's more kind of about the Bible a little bit, but it's, to me, the way that they break it down and the way that they go over it, it's really good. The teacher's really good. So, I mean, it all helps. The NA helps too, but for me, NA wasn't enough. It hasn't been enough. The last 2 times I've tried for it to be enough.
Right. So for those who may not know, CR is Celebrate Recovery, and of course NA is Narcotics Anonymous. The motherhood class, and it's kind of new here. What makes that most beneficial to you?
To me, because we're going over stuff in the Bible. We're studying. It's out of a book. The first one was Hannah's Gift, and now it's Beautiful Woman, and it talks about. It's just uplifting, and it talks about some stuff in the Bible. And for me, because I didn't go to church when I was young, that it just helps me learn. It helps me understand.
Right.
It helps me understand God, and that's why it helps me the most.
So
I like it the most.
For the most part, it helps you find inner peace.
Yes.
That you've been searching for, and maybe did not even realize that you had been searching for it or even needed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it does, and that's what Celebrate Recovery to me does too, because in NA, all you do is that you sit around and you talk about your problems, talk about what's going on, but there's not a solution.
Right.
And so for me, God, in Celebrate Recovery and in motherhood, learning about God and learning how to deal with things, like references to go to the Bible if I'm having a bad day or if I'm upset, or it helps a lot better. It helps me on the inside to be able to breathe.
Well, a lot of people can read verses in the Bible, but they clearly don't understand it.
Right.
When they break it down, it helps you to get the full understanding.
Yeah, it does. From January to May, when I was in here earlier this year, I read the Bible, and I didn't understand. I understood, but I didn't understand. It didn't click. And this, with them helping us break it down, I'm understanding it so much more. It's clicking so much more. And it's helping me better to have peace, to be understanding.
So from your times that you have quit in the past, off and on, what makes this time different?
This time, besides I'm scared. I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want my daughter to go through what I went through. Not that my mom didn't do her best, because she did do her best. She's the best mom. But just the lifestyle. I don't want my daughter to, and she's fixing to be 4, and I don't want her to grow up. She's fixing to start remembering. I don't want her to grow up and remember the things that I remember, and I don't want to have to see her go down the same road that I'm going down, because I see how much it hurts my mom. I don't want that to happen. I just don't. I don't want.
Right.
And I feel like if I don't get it right this time, I'm not going to get it right. She's old enough now that she's going to remember, and I don't.
Right. And I do know that they have CR and other programs and services in prison.
Do they?
Yes. So you can, from what you've learned here, you can join up and take some of the services and classes and stuff in prison.
Yeah.
And once you do your time, what do you, if you look in a crystal ball, where do you see yourself from the time you get out of prison going forward?
I see myself going back to school. That's going to be my main priority, which I have a good support system that's going to help me when I get out. Tell me to go back to school. Because I don't even have my GED. So that's going to be my main thing. But I see myself going forward. I don't see, even if I have to move off, or even if I have to leave my family alone, I'm not.
Change people, places, and things for sure. And you could probably also work on getting your GED while you're in prison.
Yeah. Hopefully I won't be there that long, but I mean, if I am, then I'm going to take full advantage of it.
And you don't know when you're going yet?
No, I don't.
Right.
It should be anytime. Anytime.
Your family and friends that are not on drugs and are seriously trying to help you, and even your little girl, if you could leave a message with them today, what would it be?
That I love them, and that I'm this time's gonna be different. It's good because I've been through this before, and they haven't lost faith in me, but they're more standoffish because I've done this before, and this time's gonna be different.
Right.
This.
Well, because trust is something that's earned, it's not given.
Yeah.
And so with each day that you're on the right road, you build a little bit more and a little bit more trust
Right.
with them.
Right. Yeah, the only thing I tell them is that I love them, and that it's just, I'll show them.
Right.
I can't do nothing but just show them.
And you got to first do it for yourself.
Right. That's
So,
right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in. Please support our sponsor, RenovationTea.com. You'll find a large variety from daily to specific herbal remedy teas, all certified organic and fair trade. Use code SHATTERED and you'll get a 10% discount. You could see the link below. Hi, I'm Dee. I'm the host of the Shattered Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell on the notifications so you won't miss an episode. I'm very passionate about helping families. If you are an expert that would like to help or would like to share your testimony, please contact me. Thank you.